good morning. I got something I want to share with you. Um, I was thinking about so last night as I was writing, I was thinking about this idea. Actually, no, I think this came to me yesterday when I was with a client, um, and the thought was, look at what you made me do. Look what look what you made me do. And I came up with that because I get a lot of clients who in my office they believe that their behavior is a result of their partner. Um, I had a young man in my office recently, and his explanation for why he put his hands on his wife was um, she was antagonizing me, and she wouldn't stop. Now, uh, what I'm talking about, this is not about domestic violence, right? But and I understand being antagonized. I understand, being pushed and how you can react. I get that. This is not about that. Well, it is, but not about domestic violence. So, uh, you, folk don't have to jump on and comment about the domestic violence piece. I get that. But the point is, oftentimes we blame other people for our behavior. Um, but here's the truth. You are the only one responsible for your behavior. You're the only one responsible for what you say and do. I say all the time, if you slap me and I slap you back, I can't say the reason that I slapped you is because you slapped me, because then that would not be true. The reason I slapped you is because of how I respond to being slapped. What you did to me is about you, but what I do to you is about me and how I respond. Now, I want to read this for you because I think it's important to understand this concept that I'm talking about, right? As far as you being responsible for your own behavior. Okay. Um, Now, this does come from the Bible. So for all you folk who don't like the Bible, you can, I don't know what you're going to do. Anyway, Luke 6:43. Here's what Jesus says. A good tree cannot produce bad fruit. I guess my phone is not on silent. Oh, that's my mentor. He's here in Houston. I may get you guys. I may get him on one of my lives. As a matter of fact, I'm putting him on the spot now in case he's watching this, and he's gonna bless your life. But anyway, get back to what I was reading. Apologize for that. It's live. When like I said in my previous video, when it's live, you mess up. That's what it is. I mean, you could delete it, but whatever. Um, a good tree can't produce bad fruit. A bad tree can't produce good fruit. A tree is identified by its fruit. I'm going to jump down a verse. Watch this. It says, a good person produces good things from the treasury of a good heart. And an evil person produces evil things from the treasury of an evil heart. Watch this. What you say flows from what is in your heart. That's something I teach all the time. Your words and your behavior come from you. It's a heart issue. It's not a spouse issue. It's a heart issue, right? So when they are pushing your buttons, how you respond to the button pushing is on you. And here's what I tell people. Don't depend on your partner or anyone else to not push your buttons. You do the internal work to deactivate the buttons so that when they get pushed, they don't work, right? You push this one button, what normally comes out is cursing and rage. But when you deactivate it and you fill it with something else, now when that button gets pushed, nothing comes out but love. Why is that? Because that's the only thing in there. If it's not in there, it can't come out. But watch this. If it is in there, it's going to come out. Now, not everything that comes out of your heart is a true representation of what's in your heart. I'm going to say that again. what comes out of your heart, or should I say what the people see that comes out of your heart, is not always an accurate representation of what's in your heart. Here's an example. When things are good, you buying gifts, you taking your wife out, you're giving your husband massages. You would think, oh man, they're so loving, they're so giving, they're so kind. But how do you perform under pressure? Right? When they've gotten on your nerves, when they just got when they just ate the last piece of whatever that you were waiting on, right? What comes out of you then? What comes out of you when you're frustrated? What comes out of you when you're tired, when you're hungry, right? When you're angry? Those are the tests that determine what's really in your heart. See, all that good stuff can come out of your heart when there's no pressure. But the real examination of your heart is what comes out in difficulty. And so my challenge to you is work on you and stop worrying about them pushing your buttons. You keep getting on my nerves. Well, why? What is it about their behavior that you don't like that causes you to react and feel how you do? Because that's a you issue. If your plan for life is to get folk to stop messing with you, you're in trouble. At least on this planet. Because on this planet, folks are going to mess with you. They're going to get on your nerves. They're going to reject you. They're going to stab you in the back. Okay? They're going to ignore you. They're going to say things wrong. They're going to get angry and lash out at you. The only person you can control on the planet is you. You can't even control your children. And if you're a parent, you know that's true. Whether they're 2 or 22, you can't control them. But you can control you. And if you can't control you, then work on it, because you should be able to control you. But at the end of the day, what comes out of you is because of you. And what I tell people, the way you examine your heart is to pay attention to your words and your behavior when things are not good, when you're under pressure. That is an indication that that's in your heart. I remember a time when I thought that I thought I was a certain kind of person, kind, generous. I'm in session, and on my door it says, "Changing lives, do not disturb." Well, I'm in session and somebody knocks on the door. I immediately get an attitude. I'm like, who's knocking on my door and they can't read? So I go to the door, open the door. I look at them with, what the hell are you doing look? And I look at my door sign and I look back at them and I'm like, and it's the UPS man. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. There was nobody else in the building. I just need to delete this package. And so I took the package, had an attitude, took the package, closed the door, had an attitude all the way until I sat back down in front of my client, and then it hit me. Sir, what was the Christian in you when he interrupted what you wanted to do? That brother just doing his job. He ain't trying to interrupt your stuff. But because you're so prideful and focused on what you're doing and you think it's God's work, but here this person comes interrupting and you get an attitude. So for me, it made me feel bad, because I was like, dang, that was an opportunity to be Christian and I missed it. But here's the sad part. The exact same thing happened about 2 more times throughout the time I was in that building and another building. Failed it all 3 times. That was an indication that something in my heart said, hey, when it don't go your way, you're not your best. So I went to work on that. Now, that wouldn't happen. How do I know? Because I've passed that test several times, and that particular test I'm looking for. So if somebody knock on my door, I immediately, hey, we're going to be nice. You get my point. But you want to examine your heart, right? You want to examine your heart. Don't blame other people for what's going on in your life. James 4, it says, what causes quarrels and what causes these fights among you? And then he said, isn't it this, that your passions are at work within you? It didn't say, is it because folk are pushing your buttons? Don't forget, you're responsible for your life. Um, if your happiness is contingent upon anything outside of you, you're going to suffer. You will suffer because the only thing you have control of is what's inside of you. You have no control over anything outside of you. And we've never known the future, so worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow is pointless. Work on the here and now and me. Work on me right now. Right? Mike said, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. You're going to finish with the man in the mirror too. If you start with the man in the mirror, I promise you, you won't go nowhere else. Because if you can fix him or her, the rest of the world is easy peasy. I shouldn't say easy, but you'll be okay. Okay? All right. So that's what I have for you. Be about the business of taking responsibility for how you behave. Now, if you go off on someone, fine. Take responsibility for that. Don't say, well, you made me do that. You made me be disrespectful. Lies. That's not true. It is because of what is in you. Because here's the thing. I told a lady this last night. I said, her husband was complaining about, I think about the money, and it made her upset. And she thought she was upset because he complained about the money. I said, that's not true. You're upset because of how you interpret his complaint about money. Because, watch this, if it was about the complaint, that means that if he complained about money to anybody else, they would get upset too. And that ain't true. So that's how you know it ain't what he said, it's how you interpret it. Same is true for you. When you're upset with your spouse, and I'm not saying that they didn't do the thing that actually hurt you or the thing that put you in a space, but you got to take responsibility for you being there. And, this is an added bonus. Don't take stuff so serious. Like some stuff y'all fight about, some things are not worth fighting about. Who gonna wash the dishes? These are usually newlywed fights. I cooked and he didn't wash the dishes. I understand you want that, but you really gonna tap the marriage for that? Like, y'all really gonna fight about which way you put the toilet paper roll on? Y'all really gonna fight about somebody coming home late? I'm not saying that you gotta accept it. What I'm saying is, don't tear up your marriage for it. Don't tear up your marriage for it. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not gonna say that. All right. So I hope you guys enjoy your what is today? Tuesday. I'm getting ready to do a marriage intensive with Dr. Mark starting tomorrow, 3-day marriage intensive. I'll be telling you more about my marriage intensive soon because that is the way that I want to go primarily moving forward. So I'll be sharing that with you guys. It's a powerful way to change your marriage or to even just get a refresher or renewal of life in doing marriage better. Because here's the thing. This is the last thing I'm going to share with you. Now, this is the gospel according to Clifton. This is just what I believe. Marriage and long-term relationships for y'all who are acting married but not married, like y'all living together, like y'all married. Y'all do everything except, got a paper. So you're married, right? Marriage is too difficult. Marriage costs too much. Marriage requires too much. Marriage is it takes too much energy to suck at it. Like if I'm gonna do marriage, I'm not finna just be mediocre. For what? Man, I could be mediocre by myself. If I'm going to do marriage, I want to be great at it. Or else why do it? It costs too much any otherwise. That's like fighting alligators to go get a Snickers. That just popped in my head. That's crazy. But the point is, I'm not going through all of what marriage takes to suck at it. And the way that you have a great marriage is by you becoming great, not them. You working on you. Because why? You will always be your biggest marriage problem. All right. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.